in front of the Department of Health, which is near Westminster in the Houses of Parliament, and standing really just opposite number 10, Downing Street.
And how many of you are there, and what do you want to achieve?
There are a couple of hundred people here, but this has been an organised protest which is taking place all around the world in different countries, the United States, Scandinavia, Australia, 30 different countries around the world, all protesting for better treatment of Lyme disease, better diagnosis, and the testing of it.
Well, let's talk about Lyme disease itself. You were bitten in 1998. What happened and what were your symptoms?
Yes, I was bitten. I had flu-type symptoms, so there was no reason for me to suspect I had Lyme. I wasn't feeling terribly well, feeling very lethargic. I had a 1-year-old baby and a 7-year-old daughter. So I just thought, oh, it's the summer holidays. I'm just feeling a bit exhausted. But then I came up with a bullseye rash on my arm, and an American spotted it and said, oh, goodness, I've seen posters in American doctors' surgeries with that bullseye, and you've got Lyme disease. Well, I vaguely had heard of Lyme disease, but not much, and so I went along to my doctor, asked for a test, thinking you either were told you had it or you hadn't. But I was told, well, you don't get Lyme disease in this country, so to go home. But I did insist. I'd had a test, and some months later, my doctor rang and said, you've got Lyme disease, whatever that is.
So do you think that a lot of people then are having a similar experience and perhaps going home? Do you think there are more people contracting Lyme disease than are actually being diagnosed?
Yes, definitely. I mean, as a conservative estimate, you could say that there are 15,000 people with Lyme disease a year. And that's been very conservative. But there's a lot of misdiagnosis. There are a lot of doctors saying, you don't get it in this country. And having said that, there are some doctors, of course, who have heard about it. And I know that there's in the Southern Forest area where they recognise it and they treat it. So, you know, we're lucky from that respect. But also, it's very controversial as to how you treat Lyme disease. If you can catch it early enough and hit it with the bacteria with antibiotics, you're likely to be cured and absolutely fine. But if you leave it, you just spiral downwards with one symptom after another till it can affect you neurologically or physically or, as in my case, my joints and arthritis.
Do you know, a doctor on the programme today has said that while you feel there are more people suffering from it than being diagnosed, he says there are also more people who think they've got it than actually have.
I'd like to say, how does he know they haven't got it? I certainly disagree that it's in the mind. I mean, I had to have 2 new hips, and the X-ray told me that I had to. And so I certainly didn't make that up. And, you know, when you've got chronic fatigue and headaches and your eyesight is affected and your hearing is acute, you know, you have all these symptoms which are very, very common. I've been talking to about 200 people today, mingling with them. And, you know, you just hear them talking about their symptoms and how it's ruined their lives, and they're selling their houses to go abroad to get treatment and to get tested because they're coming up against doctors that you've been talking to.
Why do you think it is that you're having to protest? Why do you think that there seems to be, as you would see it, a reticence to treat this better?
Well, the testing of Lyme disease isn't particularly accurate. It's very high bar to cross, and so even if some people have their blood tested, it may come up as negative. Mine came up as positive, so I was just one of the incredibly lucky ones, because there are a lot of people who have been far worse than me and who are in wheelchairs and paralysed or blind, because they've been told that they're tested because therefore they don't have Lyme disease. But if they've gone across to, say, Germany or America and had the test there, they've been told that they have definitely got Lyme disease, and then they can be treated.
Well, that was Angela talking to me earlier on, Angela Howard, who was at that protest in London.